Hey guys, Moss50 here, and I just got back from seeing Kick-Ass 2, and it was pretty damn good. Just to let you know, going into it, I had pretty high expectations, but I tried not to get overly hyped for it, because the last time I got overly hyped for a film, it was This Is the End, and God was I let down by that. This film was not quite as good as the first one, but it was really good for it in its own right, let me put it that way. So first of all, let's get into the storyline. Now, storyline was good, but not great, because that whole superheroes quitting being superheroes and shit, and that storyline, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It was first saw it in Spider-Man 3, and that slowed down the film way too much, and it slowed down this film quite a bit. It didn't slow it down as much as it would if it was just an average superhero film, because this is partially a comedy, you have to remember. And whilst it did slow down the film, at least the comedy was still there, and it didn't slow it down too much, because before long you did get back into the action. So that was one of the problems I had with the storyline. The other problem I had with the storyline was there was way too many overly dramatic scenes, you know, just not violence wise, because obviously the violence, you need to have some drama to the scenes, it can't just all be humorous. But I mean, in other scenes where it's just having heart-to-hearts and all that shit, and I don't know, at times they got overly dramatic, and they didn't need to be dramatic at all sometimes. Some of them didn't need to be dramatic at all, some of them didn't need to be as dramatic as they were, and that was the main problem I had with the storyline, just the over-dramatic scenes. The characters, here's the thing. The two characters I was looking most forward to seeing were Jim Carrey as Colonel Stars and Stripes, but most of all, Hit Girl, as Hit Girl is fucking awesome in Kick-Ass 1. Let me tell you now, Jim Carrey as Colonel Stars and Stripes, well, Colonel Stars and Stripes is only in the film for, say, half an hour, and he's on screen for about 15 minutes of that half hour. Just need to let you guys know about that, because he's hardly in the film at all. Even though he's all over the trailers. The trailers basically showed his entire presence in the film. So, yeah. Hit Girl is not really Hit Girl in the film. Like, it takes so long for her to get back to being, because at the start of the film she is Hit Girl, and then she decides to give up for a while, as I told you, with that whole giving that up storyline. And she gives up for way too fucking long, because I'm sitting there and going, come on, be Hit Girl, be Hit Girl, be Hit Girl. Because you're cool as you are, you're a very good actress, but I want to see you as Hit Girl, you're more entertaining that way. But I don't know, that was the only real issues I had character-wise. Everyone else was great. There's a kind of plot hole character-wise where, what's his fucking name? His friend's name, Clark Duke is his real name. I don't know what his name is in the film, but at the end, well, not at the end, but towards the end of Kick-Ass 1, he actually had a girlfriend, and in this, he doesn't, for some reason. She's just completely out of the film. They don't explain where she's gone or whatever. I assume she just dumped him later on, but I don't know. That storyline's never brought up again. But that's just, ignore that. That's just a minor gripe, and yeah, that's basically all I had problem with character-wise. So story-wise, I'll give it about, I'll give it an 8.5 story-wise, and character-wise, I'll give it an 8. Acting-wise is a 10. Everyone done a fucking amazing job. Everyone done fucking phenomenal. Chloe Grace Moretz, or Hit Girl as I like to call her, is a fucking phenomenal actor. You can just tell how good an actress she is in this film. I mean, how she plays the normal girl and Hit Girl is just amazing. Jim Carrey is surprisingly unrecognizable. I mean, he looks unrecognizable, but I mean, the way he's completely acting, the character he's playing is unrecognizable. He's never played a character like this before, at least I've never seen him like this. And it's probably his best acting role he's ever had. And everyone else always does a great job too. The action in the film is great. I actually preferred the action in this film to the action in the first film. I don't know if there's as much of it. I think there's a bit less action in this than there was in the first film, but I felt it's done a lot better and a lot more violent, actually. It's surprisingly violent. I'm surprised. It looked like it was just off an 18 certificate. Let me put it that way, guys. Some of the violent scenes in this look like they're just verging on an 18. But it wasn't, so oh well. And yeah, so action-wise, I'm going to give this film a 9.5. Or 10. I don't know. Shall I be general? No, I'll give it a 9.5. I don't want to toot its horn too much. The humour in this I felt was really good, but the dramatic scenes broke it up way too much, I felt. But I mean, like, humour-wise, two of the best scenes in the film were when they're taking the piss out of some of the really, really dark elements in the Kick-Ass comic, which I've never actually read, but in Kick-Ass 2, there's apparently a gang rape scene, and there's apparently the killing of a dog in that film. I mean, in that comic. But in this, rather than having that, they have the scenes, but they take the piss out of them. You know, they don't actually. Those scenes don't actually happen. But there are references to those scenes, and they take the piss out of them. There's also a big reference to was it, if we're going to make a sequel, we got to do this. You know, was it. Just in jokes like that, which I always find fucking hilarious. So, humour-wise, I'm going to give this film a 9. It would be a 9.5 if the drama didn't break it up so much. And overall, I loved this film. I didn't think it was quite as good as the original, but I still loved it. I highly recommend it. If you're kind of worried about it, give it a chance. You know, it's not too much different from the first film. The main difference is it's a lot darker and hit going in it as much. But apart from that, it's still along the same vein as the original. It's different storyline, obviously, but along the same vein. And yeah, so overall, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. And yeah, so that's Master 50 signing out.